This weekend's Baku Grand Prix sees the return of Formula 1 after being away for 3 weeks, and it's also the very first sprint race of the season. And Formula 1 have decided they're just going to completely change the format. So as you know, the previous format, if there was a sprint race weekend, was one practice session on the Friday, followed by qualifying that Friday, and then a further practice session on the Saturday before the sprint race that Saturday evening. Then the main race would be on the Sunday. F1 have decided now, though, that they want to switch things up, because why not? So in the new structure, Friday stays the same. One practice session followed by qualifying that sets the grid for Sunday. What they've done is they've changed FP2 on Saturday morning, got rid of it. That is now another qualifying session to qualify for the sprint race, which is later that day. They've essentially now split the qualifying. So Friday's qualifying is for the Sunday's race, and Saturday's qualifying is just for the sprint race. They've complicated something that didn't really need to be complicated. It actually gets a little bit worse though, because they've also changed the timings. Q1 is going to be 12 minutes, Q2 is going to be 10 minutes, and Q3 is going to be 8 minutes. Okay, and they've also changed it so Q1 and Q2 drivers are forced to use the medium tyres, and then the softs will be used in Q3. But why? Just to confuse things even further. Grid penalties in FP1 and Friday will apply to the race, but grid penalties in sprint shootout apply to the sprint. Grid penalties in the sprint also apply to the race. Pat Ferme breaches mean a pit lane start in both the sprint and the race, and power unit penalties only apply to the race. Did you get all that? Is that nice and simple and straightforward to understand? Because I don't really understand why they're changing this sprint race format. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I don't love the sprint races anyway. I don't know why, I feel like it takes away from the race on a Sunday, and I understand why they're trying to do it. Well, really, they're trying to do it for money. They're trying to get people into the circuit on Fridays and give people another reason to go to the circuit. So I understand why they're doing it, but I don't really like the sprint race weekends anyway. And now they want to change this format. So essentially, we're going to a street circuit and the drivers will have 1 hour before qualifying. 1 hour to set up their car, to test new parts, whatever that may be. And then on the Saturday morning, they would have had another practice session, but they're not going to have that anymore. It's going to be a second qualifying. And I understand they're trying to get rid of practice sessions, but I think maybe they've gone a little bit too far with it. We've got 6 sprint races this season, and I don't know if they're going to have this format for every one, but it seems a little bit extreme to me. I don't like it, and I feel like they're messing with something that doesn't need to be messed with. But there we go. Baku is going to be packed full of qualifying sessions and races, apparently. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. A quick little update. I'll catch you next time.